Hey guys, so today I'm going to be going on a bit of a bike ride, I guess. I need rocks for the pond that I'm building and a tank that I'm setting up. And I think I'm going to go to a local river and see if I can find some that I would like to keep. But it's down the road a couple miles, so I'm just going to take my bike out, I guess. I don't have my proper license yet. And at the same time, this is also kind of just to explore the river because I haven't really explored it before. I went down there the other day just to look around, but I didn't really walk down very far. So I have just a couple of things to make this a little bit easier. I have like boots and water and stuff. And also, this is kind of a break. I've been working on projects a lot, like every single day, and I've been running a lot. So, like this morning, I ran 5 miles when I woke up, and then I did my rounds, fed everybody, made sure everybody was doing good, and now I'm going on a bike ride. But what I've been doing is I've just been working after that. So, that's like going out in the pond, working on stuff, just doing a lot of work around just taking care of reptiles is a lot of work. So I figured as a bit of a break to that, I'm going to ride my bike. So that is the plan. Okay, so I made it, even though for some reason the seat won't let me adjust it. So that was a very uncomfortable ride. I didn't really realize that. I'm not used to riding bikes. But the first thing to notice here is that there's creeping Jenny down here. Now you might not really be able to see it, but it's like everywhere. And this is a non-native. It's from Europe. It's native to Europe, but it's across the whole eastern United States. So I actually found some of this the other day. Like I said, I came down here, and like right in this area, there's a bunch of creeping Jenny. It was flowering. Oh, here's a flower right here. Here's a creeping Jenny flower. And I took some home because, like I said, it's a non-native, and I have it growing out of my fish tank. So I'm probably gonna grab some this time as well because it's a really cool plant. It almost looks tropical to me, but it can survive in Ohio. So here's the river. I'm gonna change into boots, I guess, but there's something shiny right there. I wanna go, I have no idea what that is, but I'm just gonna explore this area. I think I'm gonna change into boots first though, because as you can see, it's tons of weeds and I don't really wanna get tons of ticks. But I don't know what travels it, but I'm thinking over there in that dark area is where I'm gonna put my bike. But here, wait, real quick. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's just a log. There's a toilet seat. So that's what the shiny thing that I saw. But right down here looks like a pretty good place to store my bike so then nobody sees it or anything like that. So I'm gonna bring the bike over here and then I can start. It's like kind of a herping trip, mostly just looking for rocks, I guess. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is some type of concrete piece, like broken concrete, like all over there. But this looks awesome. Like, look how it doesn't look like it was manufactured until you flip it over, because it's all brittle on this side, but then you flip it over and it looks like it was made up against a cloth or something. But those two rocks probably going to get at some point because they look pretty cool. So I'm going to be heading over to that wood pile because I'm probably going to get some logs or something as well. But there's these really cool rocks completely covered in moss, and one of my goals with the pond is to have a lot of moss covered rocks around them. So I think I'm going to see if I can find some smaller ones or something. It also looks like there's clay here, like or maybe ceramic pieces of tile. This one also has some cool moss on it, which I think is pretty cool, but I think I need to get out of the shade because there's like a ton of mosquitoes and I don't have any type of stuff. This is a bone. So I don't know what kind of bone that is, but that's pretty interesting. But I'm gonna get out of the shade because I'm getting bitten up like crazy. Oh wait, there's a fish trap. Oh wait, that's actually really cool. I wonder. Huh. My friend had one just like this, and he used it here, kind of like way upriver. So I bet he'd want this. Or I think it's crawdad trap or something. He caught crawdads and fish, I think, with it. So That's pretty interesting. And then I'll find all different kinds of stuff, I guess. I can keep over here, but I really want to show this because this is my most favorite part of any river system, is where there's trees kind of where the water overflows. So the water isn't always on them, so they can survive, and all the ground's eroded away pretty much, and you can basically just walk on the root system. And that's what's going on with these two huge, I think it's walnut trees, I want to say. I think that's the bark, the look that it's giving there, but I'm not sure on that. I could be wrong. I don't see any walnuts anywhere, but this is just a beautiful like root system and all the moss that's growing on it. And then there's this, which I like this area too, because this is generally where it traps the cool sticks that you can then take. But on the other side it'd be easier to see. There's actually a really cool thing on the other side. So here we have this really cool looking thing that it's like hollowed out a bit. But here you can see this looks amazing with all the different stuff that's going on there. I think that looks very cool. And then here you have an absolute ton of debris that, I mean, I don't see any pieces that I'm like, wow, I really want that. They're pretty much just sticks at this point. So I'm gonna keep going. There's a really cool hollow stump over there, but again, it's just like this. It looks really cool, but I can't do anything because this is still, like this isn't, well, this isn't really moving a whole lot. So you can't, I could probably break some of it off, but I'd want the whole thing, I think. So I'm just gonna leave it alone. So there's a pretty cool type of minnow, I believe. They always stay on the surface for some reason there, and I see them a lot in this river. But like I said, I've been upstream a lot, but not so much down here. So this is pretty interesting. And speaking of pretty interesting, so here, there was that hollow log I was talking about, the hollow stump. Here's another one, even way bigger, which is crazy. And then there's this, which looks like a tree fell that way. So this is the whole bottom of its roots, which probably would have been a crazy change for this river if that tree was placed right there. I could imagine that, like maybe when it fell, like it moved so much area that the water started going this way, and I bet it was going like this way before, because, you know, least path of least resistance for water. So once that area was open, it started going that way maybe. I don't know. I'm just making up stuff here, but that is just a crazy root wall right there. And then there's this, which looks amazing. So that's a massive stump. Obviously, it looks very old. And then there's a bunch of like wild grapevine, I want to say. That's what it looks like, growing out of it, which is very cool. And here you can see just right down the river. So I'm going to keep going. One thing that makes this kind of fun is one of my boots has like a huge gaping hole in it. As you can see, we tried to put tape on it and that didn't work at all. So right now I am walking with one foot completely in the water basically, but I'm wearing the boots anyway just because they protect my feet from all the rocks and stuff. But it was really rocky down there. Here it's more sandy, so that's all right. I'm looking for rocks, but I'm not gonna want to carry them too far back from here. So I think I'll mainly just get them from down there. I think there's enough there. But what the heck is this? This is, I think this is a credit card, or like part of one. I'm just gonna, I don't know anything about that. It's kind of interesting. I'm gonna keep walking. This is like the bottom of a drill, and you like put it in. I don't know what model it is or anything, but this is DIY Reptiles. I use lots of drills, and I believe that's what that is. I know the DeWalt brand, they're not just used for drills. They can be used for like saws and stuff, I believe, but I don't know. When I see that, I think of the drill. honestly no idea what the situation is in which you decide to throw a door into a river. But there's a door here, for sure. I don't know what that's about, but if you look around here, there's lots of yellow flowers. And what are those yellow flowers connected to? Lots of creeping Jenny. Look here, it is everywhere across this, and this is really what I want. It's a really good ground cover, and I really want it all over the ground around the pond, especially growing into the filter box and just along the side of the water like this. So that is the plan. That's why I took the first bit. Man, I'm getting attacked by bugs. I'm gonna be covered in mosquito bites. That's why I took the first bit, but I think, like I said, on my way back, I'm gonna take more. But I don't want to take it now because it seems to wilt very quickly. But man, it's along the whole side of this, and it's really what my plan is. I want it growing around. I want lots of creeping Jenny and other plants that I can have. I've been doing research about plants that are safe for turtles and tortoises even. That's mainly what I search for. Not because I'm gonna have a tortoise in the turtle area, because I'd be scared that my Russian tortoise would, jump into the pond. But I mean, if it's safe for one thing, it's generally safe for turtles as well. So that's kind of the idea there. But I'll have that, and then I want lots of moss as well. So I'm trying to find rocks, and I'll pick them up on the way back if I decide to do that. I don't know if I have enough strength to carry back a ton of rocks, but like I said, I'll probably get the rocks closest to the area in which they'll be picked up. But I'm trying to get the rocks on the side because they're covered in moss, and the rocks in the river, in the actual river, have all different types of insect larvae and eggs and moss and different things that I don't want to move to my pond or my aquarium that I plan on using the rocks for. So that's why I'm not really interested in the rocks that are in here. But if I was, then I would, make sure to get off any animals off of it. And then I would let it sit out of water for a while and scrub it and stuff. So then I wouldn't move anything into my aquarium because I wouldn't want to do that. Tons of creeping Jenny. And I'm starting to get confused. What is this? Does anybody know? It could be part of a car, but for some reason, I'm thinking that it's part of a bee thing. I don't know why I think that, but I thought there was screens. I'm kind of showing my lack of knowledge here. I'm not really sure. Wait a second. I think I know what it is. No, I don't. It could be the front of a microwave. I have no idea. So what I'm learning here, tons of invasive species and tons of trash. And there's a tire down there, I believe, but seems that life is growing around it. As you can see, there's a thing of snail eggs. I think I saw some type of larvae on it. I'm gonna put it back in the water, not because, I want to pollute, but because there's a bunch of things living on it. So, more creeping Jenny and an awesome log. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, I don't know how I missed this, but more creeping Jenny. So at this point, I have enough that I could just take as much as I want. And I'm probably gonna do that and just throw it all around the pond and just hope it grows, because I don't know, I put a piece with no roots in a thing of water, or not a thing of water, in just set it on the ground, and all the leaves wilted away and died, and then a bunch of new plants just came up from there. So at this point, I'm just gonna surround the pond with it. But this is a pretty cool log for sure. For some reason, there's just something very appealing about these unnatural things, and I can't really place it. So these are, I believe, what they put under railroads, and there's just a small piece here, but as you can see, it's relatively rectangular, and then there's a bigger piece over there. It's not just a log, it's very straight and rectangular, and then there's one over there. Now they're too heavy for me to do anything with. I mean, this one isn't, but the other ones are. And I don't know if it's just from watching Camp Kennan's videos, but there's something very appealing about them. If you're going to, introduce man-made structures into nature, it's nice to make them look like they're blending in, and that's what these things do with all these cracks and stuff, especially from being in this river. They've made areas to grow plants and moss and different things, and I think it looks very cool. But what Cam Kennan does is he uses it for, or what Kennan does is he uses it for fencing, basically. So not just as the supports, but the entire fences. And he doesn't only, I believe, I don't know if he uses these exactly, but he uses telephone poles and just like cuts them down and does that. But in Florida, there's like ferns just everywhere. They just grow everywhere for some reason. And they grow up all over them, and a ton of other plants and a bunch of tropical looking plants grow up all over them. And I think that's really nice looking. Now in Ohio, that doesn't exactly happen. Just weeds, and it looks bad. So I don't know. It's just something very appealing about these logs. So I'll see if there's another one down there, and then here's the tire. So this is pretty interesting. This is a CD player. Wait, or is it D? No, it's CD, right? CD player. Wow. Okay, that's the thing, that those little discs, and then music, I guess. It's not a radio, I don't think. Anyway, that's there, which is lovely. I just saw some big piece of plastic as well. I think it was some type of shield, windshield or something, I don't know. But I don't know why I keep showing the trash here, but there's just a lot of it. And I kind of find it interesting to find what exactly is in here besides just the wildlife. So this is a pretty interesting one. This is, I believe, some type of trap. I think it's like one of those, oh, well, that rusted away. I believe it's one of those things where you like pull it apart and then it's like a jaw and it crunches, catches something foot. Doesn't seem very humane at all to me. So I'm glad it's here rusting away, I guess. Well, I'm not glad it's here rusting. I'd rather it be, well, I don't know. It's kind of trash wherever it is, right? So I believe my friend found one of those when we were in the part, like I said, way farther up the river. I believe he found one of those as well, but I don't know if he left it in. Could be the same one, I guess, but I don't think he did. One thing that's kind of surprising me is there's a lot of cloth. I would imagine that cloth wouldn't last so long, especially in water, but man, it's like everywhere. It's like a shirt, blankets, quilt matting. Looks like, blankets have fallen apart and stuff. I find that to be really interesting. It wasn't, that's not one of the common, like when you list things that you would find in a river. I would think bottles would be more common than CD players and fox traps and all the types of things like that. I scared a couple deer. I've been walking for a while now. I heard a noise, sounded like a horse. And then one took out that way. And then a buck went that way. He's still right there. And he has that fuzz around his antlers. I think he's gonna go across. He's staring right at me. We're looking at each other. And then a doe just ran across the river, like straight through the river. It was amazing. But he's thinking like, how can I get out of this? Wait, let's see. He's right there. He's staring right at me. I don't know what he's thinking. Yeah, I think he probably wants to get over with the doe. But I'm here, so one of them has to cross at some point. I think he's just gonna wait me out. I think I'm gonna keep walking and just see what they do as I approach. So I was about to start filming to say I have no clue where I am, but after looking around for a while, I'm in the middle of a field, but I kind of know where I am now. So if you look all the way over there, there's a tunnel, underneath the train tracks, and I went through that tunnel to get here. So I'm assuming up there somewhere is where the road splits off, where I stopped to go under the bridge. But I'm gonna keep going. I'm coming back now because I got to a point where the water was too deep, and my boots have been all the way filled a couple of times now. But I came to this little inlet deal, which is very neat. It seems like a bit of a frog nursery. So there's this. So this is the drainage from the field, I guess, and it goes down into the river there. And there's some tadpoles in here, I noticed, and then there's a ton of frogs, more frogs than I've seen in the river around here, just around. There's one right down there, and then there's a bunch that jumped up into the weeds when I came over here. But I did see a tadpole at some point, but I'm not just filming for that. There's a fort over here, and I'm kind of nervous to check it out because, like, I don't know who would have been back here to build a fort. But it's up here. It's really muddy now. This is part of the reason I didn't want to keep going. It's right up there. So it looks like somebody basically made a teepee with a bunch of logs and then some tarps, I guess. So that's kind of interesting because it's not like you just find tarps. Like, they brought tarps here. So I'm gonna go up there, and I guess I'm gonna see what this is about. I don't know. It's a proper tent going on here, and it's making me nervous because I don't know. People scare me. So I'm gonna. I want to know how long. I wonder how long ago it was built. I have a walking stick now. It seems to have been helping. Okay. Gee whiz. Somebody spent a lot of time into this thing. It's wrapped around with different ropes and stuff. And then there's lots of duct tape. It's probably built by some teenager. And then it looks like they brought a bunch of rocks to put on the bottom. Let's see if there's an entrance maybe. Looks like there's a bit of an inlet here too. Huh. Very strange. I think this might have been the... Oh, looks like it's over there. So, yeah, these are definitely just tarps. So somebody spent some time doing this. That's for sure. Looks like there's a little bit of trash. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, they built up a ton of rocks. And then... What the heck? Huh. They built a bed? There's nobody in here, is there? There's a fire pit. This is very creepy. I don't like this. So there's a fire pit. And a bed? I don't know. Or a raft. I guess it's a bed. It's like tied together too. That's pretty neat. How'd they get all the... Did they cut the wood? I don't know why you'd want that. Or maybe it's firewood? And it looks like some cans. I'm not going in because that's freaking me out. I'm gonna go back down. Because it's kind of making me nervous here. Actually, here, wait, let's look around. So they have some, getting tangled up in branches. Whatever this is. Looks like maybe that's firewood or something. Guess I'm just trying to get into the mind of whoever the heck built this. There's a little stump here. That's pretty neat. Anyway. Then over here, there's more wood. There's some tires, as you do. And I guess if I was out here, I'd gather some tires too. There's wood here. There's this. What's up with this? It's a big ladder. Very strange. It's like they were doing something with rocks. So they have a bunch of rocks piled up. And then some cans. It's like some type of, I don't know cans. I only drink water and milk, so from my things. Well, whatever this is, it looks pretty old because there's duct tape and it's all down now, but I guess that wouldn't take very long. So I'm just gonna keep going, but I found that pretty interesting. Not exactly my deal. Kind of freaking me out, so I'm gonna go. Again, I have no idea how I missed this. I was just completely oblivious for some reason. But there's also a rope here, and I'm guessing that's like a swinging into the river thing. But this river is not deep enough for that, so I've never really understood those things anyway. But that's what it looks like this is. So I said this would be a little bit of a herping thing, and here's a frog. I think it's a northern green frog, it's small, but I just caught it real quick because it was small and it was right here on the land. Now I can release it. You can see it is there. So all these rocks here is the plan, and then I have wood here, and then I have a piece of wood in there. Those two peanut butter jars are filled with the creeping Jenny. Then I have the fish trap that I found. My bike's still here, and I'm gonna go home now. I'm not taking anything with me other than, what I came with and the piece of wood that's in that bag. But I'm gonna come back later and pick it up with a car, or I'm gonna have somebody drive me down here so I can load everything back, because there's no way I'm biking any of this back. But I gotta go because bugs are like attacking me right now. Okay, so the plan from here is to bring back these rocks and use them for my fish tank inside and my pond outside, and that'll be in a different video. I'm sorry that this video is so long, but I don't know, I just wanted to kind of put on everything that happened and just see how it went. So I know this wasn't super animal related. I found like one frog. Most of it was just me looking around, just pointing stuff out, but I really enjoyed it, and if you'd like me to do something similar, I'd be happy to. I wish there was more animals and stuff where I live, but I wish there was like turtles everywhere, but there isn't. So that's kind of just it. If you'd like to, maybe I could go back and pick up all that trash rather than take the rocks. So if you would like something like that, I'd be willing to do that, but just put it down in the comments. If you want to tell me that I should never do a video like this again, go ahead and put that down there. I won't even question it. That's fine by me. I would like to know what you guys think. So do that, please. If you liked it, then like it as well. And also, this is a sneak peek at this tank. I'll be doing this in a future video. So stay tuned by subscribing. Have a fantastic day.